think is a best of 5, so there'll be at the most 5 matches played. The first player to reach 3 wins will be the winner, and will receive some kind of contribution towards their ranking on their TSL group stage. So Strelok looking like he's in firm control to take game number 1, but anything could happen. Tarson still has some options. Strelok has got a couple of dropships out, so really liking that. It's really good to have dropships on a big 4-player map like this. But now Tarson pushing out, he's actually macroed up quite a decent group of units, and both players having to siege up at arm's length from each other. We've got a floating barracks to give vision. I think Tarson is actually slightly ahead in terms of the battle here. Tarson actually bringing in a couple of dropships, but it doesn't want to land them so eagerly because Strelok's got a cloaked wraith there. Strelok with a dropship of his own. It's not full of units though, so it looks like a bit of a standoff. Neither player can unsiege and roll over the other opponent because he's just got. There are just too many. Well, let's just say that there are an equal number of units roughly at this point. Tarson now moving a couple of SCVs out. He feels that he can actually... Yeah. Tarson's actually dropping forces all over Strelok, so the lock has been broken. Tarson has actually pushed out and crushed... Well, not crushed, but successfully destroyed Strelok's forces out in the field. So he's actually managing to pull off a bit of a map control advantage at this point. And Strelok sending out his Marines. This is actually quite clever by Strelok, because he knows that Tarson has managed to win that battle, therefore that will cue him to get a couple of expansions as he is doing. 2 expansions, one at the left, one at the top at the 12 o'clock position. And Strelok, knowing that he doesn't really need those Marines, is just going out to scout for them. Maybe he's already scanned and wants to harass them with his Marines while he prepares a counterattack in terms of the ground control here. So this is good play by Strelok. He's already got his expansion at the bottom right. I think he is going for a 4th base at the 3 o'clock position. And if everything stays even, I think Strelok will stay ahead here because his economy is still a lot stronger. And oh my god, Tarson has been forced to actually cancel his expansion at the top left just because Strelok moved 2 Marines there. He didn't even want to bother bringing any tanks or Goliaths around. I guess it's because he needed them to control the center, and Strelok's only needed like a Marine. And another Marine now actually harassing the other expansions. So Tarson's attempts to expand here have been thwarted, and this is really setting him back further, I feel. Maybe going for another expansion down the bottom left. He really does need an expansion at this point because his base is really just underpowered in relative Strelok's. And what we've got here is he's sieging up next to the cliff. This means that he'll be taking out the turrets and using dropships to come in. Strelok will have plenty of warning though, and Strelok will have time to move his forces into position just to defend against this. Here come the dropships now. Tarson's forces being dropped on the ledge, covered by their tanks from the other side. But Strelok now with 3 dropships, just dropping the tanks and Goliaths in and knocking out those 2 tanks there. That's all he needs to do. Doesn't need to take out the tanks next to the ridge. Just needs to protect any more forces from coming in. And I like the attack by Tarson, but it just wasn't really good enough. Strelok was just too well prepared for that. Not enough surprise, I think. But Tarson has managed to kill that Marine. I wasn't really watching. I didn't actually see what got rid of that Marine, but it was taken out, and Tarson's managed to keep his expansion at the 1 o'clock position, the sort of 12/1. Let's call it the 12:30 position. Strelok's base at the 3 o'clock is going really well, though. He's managed to keep that totally unmolested. Plenty of SCVs there, so Strelok's 4-base economy is looking really strong. He should be adding to his factory count at this point, and really just putting the hurt on Tarson in terms of just units and army size. Again, there's those Marines heading out to harass Tarson's expansion, but since the command center is already up, I don't think they're going to be able to do any significant damage. Tarson just meandering around with a few tanks and Goliaths there, but here we go. Here's something a bit more significant. We've finally got a dropship coming in to do some damage to Strelok's expansion, and Strelok now moving in with a responsive 4 dropships. So that will easily take care of Tarson's small attack, but he should be able to take out a few SCVs before this happens. Strelok just crushing that. Really, really powerful, and not even bothered. Oh yeah, he is. No, he's putting the forces back in the dropships. A good idea, I think. You want to keep your forces mobile and just be ready to respond to anything such as this. Oh, hang on, there's nothing in that dropship. Maybe he just wanted to get rid of some supply. I don't know. It didn't seem like a good move for me. I think that was a mistake there by Tarson, just throwing away a dropship. Maybe it was a misclick. I don't know. Here we go. This is how dropship attacks are done. Strelok moves into the 1230 position with his dropship force and just eradicates it. So, again, Tarson is down to 3 expansions. Strelok's still on 4. And importantly, Strelok has got plenty of SCVs at every one of his expansions and really has the advantage in unit numbers, I feel. 1 dropship taken out could have been worse. Tarson he's liking his position in the middle there, and it's good to get some control of the map between the 2 bases. But when you're on a map like this and there's plenty of expansions around the sides, Strelok's doing a much better job of controlling that, and he's definitely got the mobility advantage using his dropships better. Tarson is a little bit less mobile, just moving his forces around the middle, trying to just prevent Strelok from just walking in with his army, but he's not doing any marching around. As you can see, he's using dropships very effectively, coming in again, doing plenty of damage. I think he just blew up a lot of SCVs there. Tarson bringing a few dropships in now to prevent any more damage from happening, taking out the rest of Strelok's forces there, but Strelok really did heaps of damage to Tarson's base, and Tarson looking to counterattack now with an assault on the 3 o'clock position, and Strelok does not have any forces nearby, so it looks like Tarson is actually going to be able to finally put some hurt on Strelok's economy. And Strelok planting a 5th base there just south of that 3 o'clock position, and he's having to lift it off because he knows that Tarson's going to be heading down there next with his forces. Meanwhile, Strelok just sending dropships and ground troops around the map, just preventing any more expansions from Tarson. He knows that he's got the lead. He just needs to solidly maintain his fairly small lead here. Oh, but here's the killing blow, I feel. Finally, we've got an attack directly on Tarson's main, and I think if you're starting to maintain an advantage in yours, the gap is increasing. This is a good way to go, with Strelok just attacking the main where the factories are, blasting heaps of SCVs. A really desperate desperate defense here by Tarson, and Strelok just putting in a lot of hurt. That attack force goes down, but I think Strelok's going to be ready with another attack force soon, and Tarson is not going to be able to maintain the troops he needs to defend this. Tarson's only managed to take out 1 base, but Strelok's still got 3 left, and things looking really good for Strelok at the moment. He's moving in his ground forces, and I think they're going to arrive to Tarson's choke point before that returning army in the middle of the map is going to arrive back at home, and once Strelok siege is up, it's going to be all over for Tarson. So, looks like Strelok taking game 1, yeah, he received like 6 dropships all loaded up with troops, just rocking out and destroying Tarson's base. So, great play by Strelok. This has been a fairly decent Terran versus Terran game. Looking forward to round 2. Maybe Tarson can take another game, or take a game, and prevent Strelok from winning this final and going through. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll have game 2 coming in shortly.